Hello, longboarding mom. I am exhausted. I don't know if you can hear my voice. Mother's Day was such a busy day, and this video is going to be a couple weeks late, but after. But anyway, I went out to dinner last night. My boss took my husband and I for my birthday dinner, and we had a great time. And then after that, we went and bought a car for my son. So I stayed up until like 11 o'clock at night and got up at 5:30 this morning. I'm gonna clean today. So to reward myself, I'm gonna make a Kailua cheesecake. I'm cold. It's early morning. I've got this Instant Pot right here with some eggs in it because I'm going to make some hard-boiled eggs. I have not used my Instant Pots in a long time. I've got one for savory stuff, and this one right here is my yogurt Instant Pot, and I make cheesecakes and all my sweet stuff in that one. So I've got savory and sweet. So I got two different, I know, I'm spoiled. My sister spoiled me. She gave me one, and then I bought the other one from her because she was getting all kinds of Instant Pots and stuff. So I've got all these neat little gadgets. I'm going to start with this one here. I've got 1 cup of water in the bottom. I'm going to carefully try to show you guys this cool little trivet with my eggs, and you can add more eggs to that if you want. You can put the other trivet in there and just kind of stack as many eggs in there as you want. And you do the you put the lid on, and it's going to need to be sealed, and it's going to go in for 5 minutes. You do 5 minutes cook time, 5 minutes let it kind of release, self-release, not quick release, and then 5 minutes in an ice bath. And those suckers are just going to peel really easy. So I'm going to eat a couple of these for breakfast to get me started. And we are going to make the crust for our Kailua cheesecake. It's Oreo cookie crust. So I still got to get all that filling out and crush up those cookies and bake that in the oven. I've got this cheesecake pan. Is going to go in here on a trivet with some water. I got this off of Amazon, and it's amazing. It came with, it says 4, 5, 6, or 8 quarts. I think these are both 6-quart pots, and it's got a steamer basket, the trivet for the eggs, my cheesecake. You can make the little Starbucks eggs. You can make baby food in it. There's all kinds of stuff. And also, what else was there? It came with the little tongs. I don't know if I still have those. Probably not. The steamer basket. Yeah. Lids and everything. It was really cool. So I got this off of Amazon, and I've pretty much used everything in it. But I haven't used my Instant Pots in a long time. So I'm going to try to start doing stuff in these again, because there are quite a few things that I like to make in these. So let me get this on, get started on the, because I do have to use my oven for the crust, because I like a crunchy crust. I don't like my crust soggy. So let's turn this on. It's only going to be, and there's an egg button. This says 7 minutes. I believe I can manually adjust that. I'm actually going to do the 7 minutes. My sister does 5. I like 7 because I like my eggs a little harder. So that, and there it goes. It's on. Make sure when you use your Instant Pots that you don't put your hand above that steamer area where it opens up and it's not underneath any food. You don't want it, that steam it comes out and it's like whoosh. So you don't want it underneath your countertops and stuff. So if you have a good spot to put it, I've got my counter here. I also have a plug-in over here, so I can put another one over here if I want to. Let's get started on making that crust. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way first. While my eggs were cooking, they stopped and a low pressure. It's up to 7 now. I've got some ice and some water. But while that was going, I took my cookies and I'll show you how I made these. So this is my cookie crumble. I took 1.5 sleeves, and basically what I did is I tore it apart. I scraped. So my camera wasn't on while I did all this because I was showing you guys how I did it all. But I used a spatula and I scraped these all off into here. That's all the inside filling. I took a plastic bag. I put them all in the plastic bag. Sealed it up quite nicely. You can get the air out or you can leave a little bit of air in it, and then your rolling pin, and you just roll until it's a cookie crumble. There's a couple big pieces in there. That's okay. You can use your finger and kind of, if you find some big pieces, use your finger and get them a little bit smaller because you do want it a little finer. Or you can use your little meat, the side of it. But since I have neighbors and they're probably still sleeping, I don't want to wake them up. I probably already woke them up just by doing that. So this is how I make my crust. So still had some goo in it, so it stuck to the side. But we're going to save this to sprinkle on top of our cheesecake. I'm not going to make a whipped cream. I am going to use the center of this because I hate to waste things, and I was going to throw this away, and I decided I'm going to whip it up, put it in a little bag, and your cheesecake is, only this big. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, put a little dollop for each little slice of cheesecake. And then we will probably sprinkle a little bit more of this around the top and give it that good cookie flavor. So this is 1.5 cups. I'm going to slide that over. I need 4 tablespoons of softened butter. So you're going to go, and it has the tablespoon measurements on the side, but sometimes you can tell it is off by probably almost a tablespoon. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 4 is half of this thing. So really just go half. But if it's 3.5, like 1/3 of a cup is 5 tablespoons and a half. So when you're trying to measure stuff, you can, 5 tablespoons and a half, or it does have the measurements and stuff. So we need to melt this butter, and we're going to mix it in here. I need to preheat the oven to 350, and we're going to bake it in the oven for 10 minutes after we put it in that. So let's get that butter melted. I don't know if my microwave will work because I'm using the timer. Let's see. Nope. Okay, so I've got 3.5 minutes left. I'm going to set my timer on my watch. Timer. I'll do 2 minutes. Okay. And make sure it's all wet, because you're going to press it down into that pan and make your bottom layer, your cookie crumble. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oreo cookies, so good. And the Kailua I am using is homemade. My sister made it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have to add a little bit of, ooh, that's what I'll do. A little bit of Kailua to that to loosen it up a little bit. And flavor it. This part, you want to press it down. I'm going to grab a spoon. Yep. Alright. That was the timer for that, but I'm going to finish crushing this down first. Try to make it as even as you can. Fingers probably work better, huh? Oh, I just realized it just got locked into place. Make sure your cheesecake pan is locked into place properly. Okay, once that is preheated, we are going to put this in the oven for 10 minutes. It was so funny. I had to write down that recipe because my tablet's dead and the recipe is on my phone. So I'm going to get started on the inside. My crust has been baked. That was 10 minutes in the oven. It's completely cooled now. While I was writing all that stuff down, it cooled. I've got all the ingredients out on my table. This has been out since this morning, so it's room temperature. I'm going to use my hand mixer. You can use the stand mixer, and I have used my stand mixer before, but you don't want to over mix it. And that stand mixer is a very, very, very like heavy duty, and I mean, you just don't want to overmix stuff. So make sure when you plug it in that it's not on, because you want to put these in without them turning on you. So I'm going to set that there. We are going to try to make some room here. Get this open. Scissors. So I buy the 2-packs at Kroger. They're 8 ounces each. I'm just going to throw my trash in the sink for now. I've already done all the dishes from earlier. I ate my breakfast. I'm actually having fun using my Instant Pots today. I should have said everything's going to be Instant Pot meals for the day, but no. I mean, I could have, huh? Oh. My husband doesn't like the Instant Pots because sometimes it uses a lot more dishes. How is that supposed to be easier when it uses more dishes? I do not know. Maybe I use too many dishes. I haven't quite learned how to use the Instant Pot completely. Like, you can do saute stuff on there. I don't know. I saute in pans and then move it over to the Instant Pot, because I kind of like the way my pan sear things better than the Instant Pot does, I guess. Oops. So we are going to get these in the bowl, and we are going to whip these up and get them creamed together, because once you get the other ingredients in, and you, if you whip it too much, it's going to make it too fluffy, and it's not going to fit in the Instant Pot right, I guess, or something. I don't know. There's a reason. I don't know the reason. Maybe I should have used a bigger bowl. A bigger bowl. I like my bowl. Phone. I'll be back. morning. I had to switch bowls because I wanted a bigger bowl. I'm going to finish creaming this together. And we are going to add the next 2 ingredients. So this is two 8-ounce boxes of cream cheese. We are going to add to it next a 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of flour. I got my sugar here. We're going to add a 1/2 cup to it, and we're going to slowly incorporate it both to it. Oh, that barely fits in there, does it? Barely fits in there. Okay, 1/2 cup. And 2 tablespoons of flour. I don't have to sift this flour because I did not vacuum seal this one. But my other ones, when I vacuum seal them, I do sift those because it makes them hard. And I think you get more flour in them. More flour packed is what I'm saying. So you don't actually get like the 2 tablespoons. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take this out. Let's set it on my spoon rest. I got that thing for a reason, didn't I? Okay, let's slowly... There's a speed thing on here. I wonder... low. Let's put it on low. That helps. It was on high. There's 2 settings on this one. I don't use this one. This is my husband's. He uses it for mashed potatoes. It's so funny. So I use this one very rarely. I'm gonna turn that off. There's some cream cheese up there. I'm gonna mix this in with it. Okay. Maybe that's why I said use the paddle one. I don't know if oh, I do have paddle attachments. I'm so silly. Huh. I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to switch this to the paddle attachments. It's going to be so much easier. Give me a couple seconds, guys. We'll be back in a second with the right attachment. Look at that! Paddle attachments. My husband wanted to throw these away a long time ago, and I knew I needed them for something. Oh, wow. That's a big difference. Look at that. Okay. So we don't want to over-mix it. Why didn't I put that on sooner? So much easier. Okay, turn that off. I'm going to scrape everything down inside. We are going to now add some of... Oh, I found some on the side. Some of the... That's why you always clean your tables and stuff. Make sure it's all clean. I've got a 1/4 cup of homemade Kailua, my vanilla that my sister made as well, so Indonesia vanilla bean paste, and a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream is going into that next. So we need 1 teaspoon of that good vanilla. I've showed you guys what this vanilla bean looks like. It's a paste. It's amazing. I gotta clean the jar. I'm getting cream cheese everywhere. So 1 teaspoon equals 1 teaspoon of the liquid. You just drop that in there. And it leaves little vanilla beans all over. And I need a 1/4 cup of Kailua. So I decided I'm probably going to put the whipped cream on top. Oh, this is not a twist. Because you put the delicious Kailua inside of your whipped cream too. And I know I said I was going to put it in that Oreo stuff, but that Oreo stuff isn't that good. And my heavy whipping cream is so much better. So that's probably what we're going to do. Oops, I'm so messy. I'm so messy. I'm so glad I'm cleaning my kitchen today. It's cleaning day. I'm going to reward myself with some good cheesecake. I know. I got to work out still too. But while this is sitting in the refrigerator, I'll do all the workouts and yum. Probably take some of this to work and share it with my boss. She's not a heavy drinker, so I'm not thinking she's going to care too much for it, but who knows? She might like it. Okay. Now we are going to whip this around. You don't want to whip it around too much. I'm going to turn that off and clean the sides a little bit and do it one more time. It says to slowly incorporate these and then turn it up, gradually turn it up and whip it for 1 minute. I want to make sure we get all the stuff off this. See the vanilla bean flakes in it. It's so good. You guys see those flakes? I don't know if you can see those brown spots right there where I'm pointing at. Those are the vanilla bean flakes. Yum. Okay, so I'm going to stir it a little bit more and I'm going to gradually turn it up higher for 1 minute. And next we are going to add an egg in one at a time. Got some vanilla up there on the side I want to get, so maybe I'll do that like this. There we go. I love my stand mixer. Three seconds. 3, 2, 1, and you can pull that out and it cleans it off. Pull it out slowly so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, I'm going to go grab those eggs and I'm going to break it into here. These have been sitting out also at room temperature. I did not say to do it at room temperature, but I know when you're baking and doing stuff, mostly everything is room temperature. So, you know me. Ooh, let's break that yolk first. That helps break it before you get it in there, right? So let's do that. And then gradually mix in these eggs. You don't want to overmix this. This is where you don't want to overmix it. You want to get the egg incorporated, but you don't want to overmix it. So once you don't see any more egg yolk anymore, you want to add your next egg to it. So let's scrape this all down to the center, and we are going to start slowly. It's on one, but it just seems like it's so fast. See, I swear my mixer now is slower than this one. Okay, so I don't see any more egg in there. I'm going to get down to the bottom. We're going to add the other egg now. That egg smells fine. Let's crack that yolk. Crack, 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 crack. Dump that in. Try to get all that gooey goodness off into the, so we're not wasting any of it, right? Try to get it all off into there. Okay, let's mix that last one in, and then we're gonna put it in our pan and cover it with foil and put it in the Instant Pot for, it said 40 minutes. I usually do my cheesecakes a little bit longer than that because I want them done. But it says if it sits, the longer it sits, the more done it gets, right? So we don't want to overdo our cheesecake. So I'm going to do 45 minutes just to be on the safe side. Okay. That's all done. I'm going to make sure it's all mixed up just a bit here. Set that there. I don't see. Sometimes I don't mix my cream cheese in enough. And that's, you know, where you keep practicing and you get it better and better. And it looks like all my cream cheese is all mixed in really well. That's why you whip it first. Okay, let's pour that into this pan right here that we already have ready. And you want to even. So I was worried it didn't get the bottom. I got the bottom, yes. Scrape it all out. Get all that gooey goodness out of there. Ooh, yummy. Cheesecake. What is your favorite cheesecake? Strawberry, cherry. My sisters made me lemon blueberry before. Oh, that was amazing. Because I love lemons and blueberries together. Scrape that all down. Get the sides, the bottom. Okay. I'm making a mess over here in the sink. One side's got trash and the other is my dishes. That's okay though, because I'll clean up. When that's in my Instant Pot. Okay, so the next thing we need to do get some stuff out of the way. Really what you want to do is kind of move it around, shake it so it's even, kind of tap it a little bit to get the air bubbles out. My Instant Pot does not have the liner in it. Always make sure you put the liner in. And I just washed it, so you want to make sure it is definitely dry all the way around, because if you get those elements wet on the inside, it will not work. So I used one little small paper towel to make sure all of it's dry. Put that in there. My Instant Pot came with this trivet. I bought this trivet. It came with that kit. I think it came with that kit. But this is the one I like to use because you can pick your cheesecake up. So you want to put that inside there. 1 cup of water, which I usually have ready and I don't. One cup of water. We're going to cover that with foil. I just use the Great Value I bought from Walmart, actually. And they have, you know, they have different, like, this is 225 square feet, but there's different millimeters. This is 68.58 by 304 millimeters, which is the thickness. And so the thicker it is, the more expensive it's going to be and the less you're going to get. So if you're just going to use it for covering stuff or whatever, you really don't need that thick of a foil. So we're going to cover this. We're going to put it in our Instant Pot. Wait. I'm going to take the trivet out. Put it on the trivet. See, I told you it's been a while since I've used my Instant Pot. Make sure it's covered because you don't want the steam to get in your... And if it does, just use a paper towel to get that steam off, the wetness off of the top of it, because a paper towel doesn't, just kind of soaks it up and doesn't mess it up. So put that in. And we're going to put the top on. And yes, I have two different lids because there's two different Instant Pots here. So the steam hole goes in the back. Make sure it's on sealing. And we're going to put it on, oh gosh, this is a different one. Pressure cook. Pressure cook. And we're going to turn the time up to 45 minutes. And once it starts warming up and doing its thing, it will start the countdown clock. So it's on. It's on. It's not warmed up yet. So it usually does a little steamy thing. I'm going to leave this on and let you guys see what it does, because sometimes it doesn't seal. And if it doesn't seal, you can hear the difference. It's, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seal sometimes, right? So you have to stop it, start it all over again. There's just certain things that you got to do with this thing that, you know, that you don't have to do when you're cooking on the stove. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. We're gonna, once this is out, I'll show you what it looks like. It's got to cool, and we've got to make the topping and stuff for it as well. So this is an all-day video. We'll see you guys all in a little bit. It's working just fine. So we'll see you guys back here in 44 minutes. It didn't even come out, the steam, nothing. It just plugged up that easy. Sometimes though it doesn't, and I'm waiting forever and it just starts steaming out. So when it starts just steaming out, you got to cancel everything and take it off and start all over again. But not this time. That was easy. Okay, it is done cooking. Now we have to let it manually release the pressure. No, we're gonna let the pressure release on its own, and we'll come back and open it up and let you guys see what that cheesecake looks like. Okay. It's been off for a little while. It's kind of cool. I'm releasing the rest of the pressure. And I'm going to grab my little cutesy Christmas ones because I'm going to need that to pull that trivet out. See, all that water would have been inside my cheesecake if I didn't put that foil on there. So let's pull this out. I'm going to set it over here on top of this. Move this out of the way. It's hot still, so be very, very careful. There's hot water in it, hot steam coming out of it, so be extra careful. This has water on top. I'm going to carefully get that water off. It feels like that cheesecake has expanded a lot because, you know, the whipping of it, but there you go. Look at that. See it jiggle a little bit? That's what worries me about it not being done all the way. She said in the article that I read that it just needs to rest and it will cool and it will be just fine. If you cook it any longer, it'll dry the cheesecake out. So let's let this rest the way she said it needs to rest. Cool first, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours, come back, cover it with its ganache and whipped cream, all that ooey goodness. So I can start cleaning the house now. Yippee joy. At least I got a good lunch, though. I might have to try a little bit of that and see what that tastes like first. Okay. My cheesecake has been in for 5 hours. So we're trying to just release it a little bit from the side here. I'll have to try that, huh? Not the prettiest on the sides, but that's okay. We're going to put it right up here on top of this. And here I have half a cup of chocolate chips melting. And I'm going to add a half a cup of heavy cream to it. Flatten that down a little bit so the chocolate can pour on top of it. I'm wondering if I should put these in together at the same time. The chocolate's melting. The milk's fine. Oh, that's fine. Cover this for just a little bit longer with that lid so it melts better. And we will come back when it's all melted and pour that right on top of there and make some whipped cream. Put the whipped cream on top with some cookie. Look at that. I've got 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of Kailua, 1 cup of cream in here. Apparently it wasn't recording earlier, so me making like ganache on top of it did not work. But here is the whipped cream that's going to go on top. We are going to whip that up. Kailua whipped cream. And that's what my whipped cream looks like. We are going to put this in a piping bag and pipe it onto our cheesecake if it's ready. When I poured all the chocolate on, my camera was not on, so you guys didn't get to see the mess that I made all over and on my floor. So it's not completely set yet, but I can't wait any longer. I want some cheesecake. So I'm going to put my whipped cream on top of it. Probably should have whipped this up a little bit more. I stuck it in the refrigerator, but it should be fine. So we're gonna go like this: a dollop here, a dollop here. And look at all the extra whipped cream. I'll use it for my coffees the next couple days. And then we're going to take all that yummy, you could either like sprinkle chocolate on top of that, but I'm just going to sprinkle little cookies on top of it. I just go all the way around. Like that. And see, look at that mess. That mess. It's a mess on that side. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to like the chocolate's not quite set yet, but I want a piece. I get through that cookie crust down below. Let's hope I cut that cookie part, right? Normally I put wax paper underneath it. It didn't say to put wax paper underneath it, so thinking maybe I should have put wax paper underneath it. Alright, the first slice is always hard to get out, right? Especially when you don't put wax paper underneath the cookie stuff. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got it. Look at that. Ah. I'm bound to drop this on the floor. I'm going to drop this on the floor. Not. Oh, there's some cookie in there. Cookie. That is heaven. That is so good. And the chocolate not being done, that's okay. Oh, look at that. Yum. I'm gonna go enjoy my cheesecake, and then I'm gonna start dinner. We're having steaks for dinner. So hot today. I might have to do it inside because it's really hot on my balcony. I'll see you guys next time.